Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Take a breath, a slow, deep one. Do you realize that breath itself is not ordinary? It's heaven's signature inside you. That breath you just took was once the same breath that spoke galaxies into existence. You are not random. You are not ordinary. You are a walking expression of divine craftsmanship, an echo of heaven in human form. The world may label you by your flaws, your failures, your appearance, or your past. But heaven looks at you and says, "That one carries my DNA." You weren't created from dust alone, you were activated by divine essence. Every part of you, from your soul to your spirit, carries the pattern, frequency, and fingerprint of heaven's power. Let's go back to the beginning, Genesis. It says, God breathed into man the breath of life, and he became a living soul. That breath wasn't mere oxygen. It was divine code, the spark of eternity placed inside the temporary. When God breathed into humanity, he wasn't transferring air, he was transferring identity. He was saying, "Let there be a version of my spirit walking the earth." And that's what you are, a divine replica of heavenly essence. You were designed to reflect the nature of the Creator himself. That's why you don't fit into the systems of this world. Your blueprint wasn't written here. Everything about you carries divine technology. Your compassion, it mirrors his mercy. Your creativity, it mirrors his imagination. Your resilience, it mirrors his strength. Your intuition, it mirrors his spirit. You are not just made by God, you are made of God. You have heaven's DNA running through you, the same frequency that raised Christ from the dead. And that power? It still moves within you, waiting to be awakened. Let me tell you something important. No matter how much life has tried to break you, twist you, or bury you, the divine code within you can never be deleted. You've been through betrayal, heartbreak, trauma, maybe even seasons where you questioned your worth. But through it all, something inside you refused to die. That's heaven's DNA protecting its own. The world can contaminate your surroundings but never your source. Because your origin is celestial, not carnal. Even when you sin, God's imprint didn't fade. Even when you ran, his code kept calling you home. Even when you lost yourself, the light inside whispered, "Remember who you are." You see, that's what makes you a chosen one, not perfection, but recognition. You remember where you come from. And heaven remembers you. People sense there's something different about you. They may not understand it, but they feel it. They can't quite explain why your presence makes them feel exposed. Why your eyes seem to see right through masks. Why your energy shifts the atmosphere of a room without you saying a word. It's because you carry divine residue. Your spirit releases frequencies of truth. It awakens, convicts, and heals without even trying. That's why some people are drawn to you, while others are instantly uncomfortable. They don't realize, they're not reacting to you, they're reacting to the spirit moving through you. You're heaven's ambassador disguised in human flesh. Your spirit carries weight, authority, and purity that light cannot hide. Even demons recognize your energy before your name is spoken. They see heaven's seal stamped on your spirit. And that seal tells them, "This one belongs to the Almighty." Chosen one, have you ever wondered why you've never fit in? Why you feel things deeper, see things others can't, and hear divine whispers others ignore? It's because your spirit wasn't designed to conform. It was designed to transform. You were created to bring heaven's reality into earthly spaces. That's why mediocrity suffocates you. That's why you crave depth when the world craves distraction. That's why small talk drains you but truth revives you. You operate on a different spiritual frequency, one tuned to the voice of heaven. And that frequency can't be understood by minds still trapped in survival. That divine DNA in you resists corruption, resists conformity, and resists compromise. It keeps calling you higher, whispering, "You were made for more." Let's talk about the power itself. When heaven breathed into you, it wasn't just life, it was authority. You carry within you the same spiritual current that Jesus operated in. That's why your words hold power when spoken in faith. That's why your prayers move mountains and disrupt darkness. That's why your presence alone causes spiritual tremors. Because you're not just praying to God, God is praying through you. You're not just speaking about the kingdom, you're releasing it. When you walk into a room, angels recognize their own kind. When you speak light, darkness trembles because your voice carries the signature of the Creator. That's what it means to have heaven's DNA. It means your spirit and God's spirit move in tandem. You're not begging for power, you are power manifested in flesh. Ever notice how people's behavior shifts around you? How some open up instantly while others grow defensive? How you seem to trigger hidden guilt or secret admiration? That's because your spirit reflects light into their darkness. And light demands a response, exposure or transformation. Evil spirits, hidden motives, and deceptive energies can't stand your aura because it burns them. Your very being carries the frequency of truth. Your silence speaks louder than arguments. Your presence declares, light has arrived. This is why you face so much resistance. Not because you're cursed, but because you're carrying a realm. When heaven calls your name, something inside you always stirs. You may not understand it with your mind, but your spirit recognizes it immediately. It's like a tuning fork being struck. Your DNA vibrates in alignment with God's voice. That's why you can't stay in environments filled with deceit for long. Your spirit rejects it. That's why sin feels heavier for you than for others, because your divine DNA resists corruption. You were designed for purity, purpose, and presence. You are heaven's prototype, a living vessel of divine resonance. When you worship, heaven leans in. When you speak truth, angels respond. When you pray, power ripples through realms. Let's get real. That's why you were attacked so early. Before you even understood your worth, darkness did. Before you knew what you carried, the enemy saw the mark of heaven on your spirit. That's why your childhood was targeted. That's why betrayal felt relentless. That's why isolation became your teacher. The enemy didn't fear your name, he feared your nature. Because he knew once you awakened to your identity, his influence over you would break. But you survived. And now you're rising. And every trial that tried to destroy you only activated more of heaven's code within you. The pressure you felt wasn't punishment, it was activation. Now that you're aware of who you are, it's time to walk differently. Chosen one, heaven's DNA in you means you were never meant to operate like everyone else. You were born to lead with grace, speak with authority, and love with power. You carry divine governmental weight. When you decree a thing in faith, heaven backs it. When you intercede for someone, realms shift. When you forgive those who hurt you, chains break, not just for you, but for generations. You are not weak, you are a weapon of love and light. You're a manifestation of divine authority disguised as humility. Your power is not in pride, it's in purity. It's not in loudness, it's in alignment. You know why angels walk with you? Because they see family. You share the same origin, the same spiritual DNA. You were born of light, clothed in glory before time began. You were in the mind of God before you were ever in your mother's womb. That's why when you speak heaven's language, faith, love, obedience, creation listens. Because the particles of creation remember the voice that made them, and that voice now lives in you. Heaven doesn't just hear you pray, it recognizes you as one of its own. Chosen one, stop expecting worldly minds to understand spiritual identity. They'll call your discernment paranoia. They'll call your peace passivity. They'll call your faith fantasy. But you know what they can't explain? Why things always align for you even when they shouldn't. Why favor follows you even in famine. Why miracles happen around you when you simply believe. It's because your life runs on heaven's blueprint, not earth's. You're not limited by logic, you're powered by spirit. You don't move by sight, you move by knowing. You are a carrier of heaven's logic, faith. You are living evidence that God still creates masterpieces. Your existence itself is proof that heaven's love never stopped flowing into the world. You are not here to just survive, you're here to reveal. Every act of kindness, every prayer, every battle you overcome, it's heaven proving that divinity still breathes among humanity. You are God's art in motion, His voice in flesh, His spirit made visible. When you walk, heaven walks. When you speak, heaven echoes. When you love, heaven expands. That's why evil trembles when you remember who you are. Chosen one, it's time to stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. You weren't called to blend in, you were chosen to shine through. Your light doesn't need permission, it needs courage. You carry divine power not to boast, but to bless. Not to dominate, but to deliver. The world needs your frequency now more than ever. You're heaven's response to darkness. You're a walking reminder that light still wins. So carry it boldly. Carry it humbly. Carry it consistently. Chosen one. Before you scroll away, take this in, slowly. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You are the continuation of heaven's voice in human form. Every time you speak truth in a world addicted to lies, heaven speaks through you. Every time you show compassion when others choose cruelty, heaven moves through your hands. Every time you forgive when you have every reason not to, heaven's mercy breathes again through your heart. You are living evidence that the divine never left this world. You are walking proof that love is still stronger than hate. That light still pierces darkness. That heaven's DNA still moves through chosen vessels like you. You've been through storms that should have destroyed you, but you're still here. You've carried pain that should have silenced you, but you're still speaking. You've faced betrayal, isolation, and spiritual warfare, yet you're still glowing. Why? Because heaven's code doesn't break. It builds you. The world tried to bury you, but heaven used the dirt to plant you. And now you're rising, not as a copy of your past, but as a living reflection of divine power. That's what you are, chosen one. A vessel of eternal light, carrying heaven's current in your veins. And as you walk forward from this moment, remember this truth. You were not just made by God, you were made of God. Every cell, every heartbeat, every spark in your spirit carries the echo of His presence. When you speak, heaven listens. When you pray, heaven moves. When you love, heaven expands. The world will see your light and not understand it. Because they're not meant to understand it. They're meant to feel it. They're meant to encounter God through the way you live, love, and lead. So here's your assignment. Walk out of this message not as a spectator, but as a vessel. Don't let this word just inspire you, let it activate you. If you've felt heaven stirring inside you during this message, if something within you whispered, "This is me," then it's time to move differently. Speak differently. Pray differently. Love differently. Live like heaven's DNA truly runs through your veins. Because it does. When you walk into your job, your school, your home, remember, heaven just entered the room with you. When you speak words of peace where there's chaos, heaven is speaking peace through you. When you pray for someone who's hurting, you're activating the same power that healed the blind and raised the dead. You are not powerless, you are plugged into the source of all creation. So go and carry heaven boldly. Don't dim your light, ignite the world around you. Be the reason someone believes again, the reason someone feels seen. The reason someone remembers that God is real. Because through you, He still is. If this message stirred something deep inside your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share this word with another chosen one who needs to remember who they are. Leave a comment below and say, "Heaven's DNA flows through me." Let heaven hear it echo through the earth. And if you're walking through spiritual warfare right now, hold on, because power is about to rise within you like never before. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. And no darkness can silence that truth. So lift your head, chosen one. Straighten your crown. Because heaven's DNA still speaks through you. And the world is about to hear it loud and clear.